Hello and welcome to Sky247.net presents Not Just Cricket. Well, while the game is still continuing, the gentleman and I, Azarsa and Niall, will be discussing the next game, which is obviously, as we know, Delhi versus Gujarat. Niall, let's talk about this, please.
Yeah, big game, obviously. Gujarat, one of the new sides who got off to quite a good start, actually. I thought they played nicely in their opening game against Lucknow, so they got the points early, and I thought Delhi played very well, overcoming Mumbai in their opening encounter. Delhi, they've turned a corner really over the last kind of couple of seasons under the leadership of Ricky Ponting, and I think many people think Delhi this year are going to be right up there, and I believe so. They're a nice side. They've got a couple of players back who've been unavailable as well for this fixture. So it could be a stiff encounter, I think, for Gujarat, although they'll be confident after their opening game.
Absolutely. Azhar sir, Delhi looked down and out in the previous game because a lot of their, international players weren't able to, play the game. So, aapko kya lagta hai? What will be their thought process coming into this game?
आई थिंक देखिए उन लोग को अच्छा खेलना पड़ेगा, उनके इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर्स को अच्छा खेलना ही पड़ेगा। जैसा कि गुजरात की जो टीम है मेरे ख्याल में बहुत अच्छी टीम है, क्योंकि लास्ट मैच में भी उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा किया है, तो उनका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल आगे अच्छा होगा। और मैं समझता हूँ कि ये मैच बहुत तगड़ा मैच होगा। जैसे नील ने कहा कि बहुत स्टिफ मैच होगा, बहुत तगड़ा मैच होगा। दोनों भी टीम अच्छे मैच कर रहे हैं। और जहाँ तक के मैं सोचता हूँ कि दिल्ली की टीम थोड़ा उनको पिकअप करना पड़ेगा। उतना ज़्यादा हमें जो एनर्जी लेवल उतना ज़्यादा नहीं दिख रहा है दिल्ली की टीम में। नो डाउट अच्छे प्लेयर्स हैं उनके, बट लेकिन अच्छा खेलना पड़ेगा। बट लेकिन जो नई टीम है गुजरात की भी बहुत उनको भी दाद देना चाहिए। उनके अच्छे प्लेयर्स हैं और मैं समझता हूँ कि अच्छा गेम होगा।
Absolutely. Niall, let's talk about Shami and Ferguson. Is that the most potent new bowling attack in the tournament for you? According to you, they're playing for Gujarat?
Well, I love Shami. I've said on the shows previously, I think he's a brilliant exponent especially with the new ball. He can do a job at the end as well, but he's lethal really. Obviously against Lucknow, 3 for 25 off his 4, and he bowled very much just a good line and length. He got a little bit of shape in the air, but generally just hit the seam. I'm just thinking back to the dismissal of Quinton de Kock around the wicket, just nipped back through the gate, through bat and pad, a left-hander. So yeah, they are. Can we call them lethal? I think most sides have a strong opening bowling attack, but I think Shami, when you've got an Indian to lead the attack like Shami, it gives the rest of the bowling squad a lot of confidence. So I think he's right up there with the new ball. Hardik gave him 3. Kind of Hardik said, "Listen, do you want to bowl 4 in a row?" He said, "No, but I don't think if I bowl 4 in a row, I won't be able to breathe." So give him that new ball. If there's anything in the air or if there's anything off the surface, Shami will find it.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Hardik's first day as a captain in the office against Lucknow. How did you assess his captaincy, Azhar sir?
No, I think just फर्स्ट गेम उनको पहला गेम था, तो उतना ज़्यादा मेरे ख्याल में थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा उनको। अच्छा कैप्टनसी कभी वो कैप्टनसी किए नहीं, इसमें कोई भी मेरे ख्याल में शायद बड़ौदा के लिए कभी खेलते होंगे, तो वही जब भी कैप्टनसी करते होंगे उसके बाद उनको इतना ज़्यादा कैप्टनसी का एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है। बट लेकिन जैसे जैसे मैचेस खेलते जाएंगे मेरे ख्याल में उनको एक्सपीरियंस आता जाएगा। तो अभी इतना जल्दी हम उनके बारे में, कैप्टनसी के बारे में तो मैं तो बात उतना नहीं कर सकता हूँ। अगर शायद मेरे ख्याल में अगर 4-5 मैच होंगे उसके बाद में आप उनकी कैप्टनसी के बारे में बोले तो मैं बोल सकता हूँ। बट एज ऑफ नाउ वो मेरे ख्याल में उनको एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दी गई है। नई टीम है और नए प्लेयर्स है, क्योंकि उन्हें जब से उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया वो मुंबई से ही खेल रहे थे, मुंबई की टीम से ही खेल रहे थे। बट उनके लिए अब एक नई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है। कैप्टन बन के मैच खेलना वो एक अलग होता है, क्योंकि प्लेयर से अगर आप खेलेंगे तो आप प्लेयर एक होता है, तो वो खाली अपनी बैटिंग और बॉलिंग, या बैट्समैन है तो बैट्समैन क्या देखता है, बॉलिंग है तो बॉलिंग के ऊपर कॉन्सेंट्रेट करता है। बट लेकिन जब कैप्टन होता है तो उसको हर चीज पे कॉन्सेंट्रेट करना पड़ता है, पूरी टीम पे कॉन्सेंट्रेट करना पड़ता है, अपनी खुद बैटिंग पे, अपनी खुद बॉलिंग पे।
बिल्कुल, I mean जितना हारेंगे उतना ही सीखेंगे, so it's all good. Everything is an experience. Niall, it's time for you because this is your fantasy team. Let's take a look. These are Niall's selection. Let's have a look at your team now. There you go, chosen by you.
Yeah, well, Prithvi Shaw is a player I've got a lot of admiration for. I think he's very talented. Can he convert those good 30s and 40s into a match-winning performance? Shubman Gill, classy right-hander. Pant, I just think he's an entertainer, a born entertainer. David Miller was one that, he was in my team. I took him out of my team. Can we see the David Miller of old? Everyone wants to see that, but we've got the likes of Tuate, who's a good finisher, Hardik as captain, and Kuldeep Yadav. Actually, it was nice to see him bowl so well in the game against Mumbai, picking up a couple of wickets because he's had a difficult couple of years. And then Rashid Khan, the best T20 bowler of all time, in my opinion,
Yep.
and an absolute superstar of the game. And any team that has Rashid Khan in it has a good chance of winning any encounter. So for Gujarat, when you've got the likes of Hardik, etc., as your captain, and then one of your main picks, you pick Rashid Khan, that gives you chances not just winning a match, but winning a tournament. They go up massively because he is a genuine match winner.
Sir, I wanted to ask you, let's talk about Rashid Khan, one of the best, like you just said, a very, very good player. Though Delhi will be slightly scared and worried about him because he's so good.
No, डेफिनेटली देखिए दिल्ली उन्होंने तो एक बहुत अच्छे बॉलर थे, उन्होंने प्रूव किया है ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, नॉट ओनली ये लीग में बट अपनी कंट्री के लिए भी जहां जहां पे भी वो लीग खेलते हैं तो उन्होंने प्रूव अच्छा किया है. तो मैं समझता हूँ दिल्ली जरूर उनके ओवर्स देखिए, जब अच्छा जो बॉलर होता है, अगर जिस दिन अगर वो अच्छी बॉलिंग कर रहा है तो उसको आप सिंगल डबल में निकले उसको रेस्पेक्ट देना चाहिए. जहां पे अगर अच्छी बॉलिंग कर रहा है, अगर उसको आप रेस्पेक्ट नहीं देंगे तो आपको जरूर वो विकेट लेगा. तो मेरे ख्याल में राशिद खान से डेफिनेटली अच्छा, मैं डरना तो नहीं चाहिए बट लेकिन थोड़ा दिमाग में तो रहता है कि बैक ऑफ माइंड रहता है कि एक अच्छे बॉलर के साथ हम आज खेल रहे हैं.
Bilkul, Bilkul. Niall, a toss update. Delhi has won the toss and they have chosen to bowl, the same as what happened this afternoon. And I'm kind of tired of asking, well, we knew that, but we didn't know that.
Yeah, well,
So-
it's no surprise really. It is an advantage. I think, as the tournament goes on, you just got to get the psychological out of your mind. You can't be turning up to the ground and being in the mindset, if you have to bat first, it's going to be very difficult. So you just got to get out of headspace. Almost make the toss irrelevant. Just say, guys, we have to play, our best game of cricket. In the field, we can't let anything go through the hands. We've got to dive and stop everything with ball in hand, no extras. Way too many extras in this tournament so far. Too many no balls, too many wides. So cut out the extras, and then when you bat, if you're lucky to get off to a good start, and what I mean by good start, if you can get to 20 or 30, at striking at 130, 150, you must carry on. 30s and 25s and 35s don't win your matches. 80s, 70s, 80s, and upwards win your games of cricket. So as a coach, I'd be saying, from the bowling side, no extras, cut out the wides, cut out the no balls. Fielding coach, dive on everything, stop everything, back up everything. And batting coach, if you're lucky enough to get a start, make sure it counts.
Okay, so Mustafa Rahman is in for Delhi. That's a new update. Sir, what would you like to say about that? क्या कहना चाहते हो?
आई थिंक मैं नए प्लेयर को मौका देना चाहिए. देखिए, अगर आप नए प्लेयर को मौका देने चाहिए, अगर कोई प्लेयर अच्छा नहीं खेल रहा है तब उसको ऐसे ही खिलाने से कोई फायदा नहीं होता, क्योंकि जब नया प्लेयर भी आता है, नया बॉलर भी आता है तो दूसरी टीम के लिए भी दिक्कत हो जाएगी, क्योंकि वो अलग अलग हर बॉलर अलग किस्म की टाइप की बॉलिंग डालता है. तो मैं समझता हूँ, मैं ऑलवेज एक फेवर में हूँ कि अगर कोई अच्छा नहीं करे तो यंग प्लेयर्स को आगे बढ़ाना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो टीम को आगे बढ़ाएंगे.
Bilkul. Niall, just an update. Mumbai need around 56 runs from 23. This was the update a minute ago. Do you think they can do it?
I don't think they will, because I thought Rajasthan have fought back pretty well. Mumbai were absolutely flying out of the blocks, and looked like they were pretty well set, but they've lost a couple. I think Yuzvendra Chahal got 2 and 2. That's probably just pegged back Mumbai. But the big man from Trinidad, well, he's still there. So when he's there, you've got a chance. As long as Pollard is there, and he got smacked with the ball today, Pollard. He got hit all over the D.Y. Patel Stadium. Shimron Hetmeyer took him down, so he owes his side a few at the bat. So you never know.
That's true. Yesterday, his another West Indian, Andre Russell, did it, so anything can happen. I'm not sure if we're going to quickly just take a look at the teams right now, briefly. Gujarat has no changes. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the Gujarat team, shall we? Because there's been no changes on that. So I'm just waiting for that to come up on the screen. Okay, so apparently this is in the scrolls over here, so nothing's coming up on the screen. There we go. These are the teams that we have over here.
Gujarat side looks a good side. You know, they have a very good side. I mean, the only thing is that they
Yeah.
have to believe in themselves, you know, and then go out and play as a team. And I mean, they've got every player is a performer. I mean, who already performed before as well.
And they'll have confidence. You know, they'll have a lot of confidence after getting the win first up. And when you've got Hardik Pandya as captain and as the talisman, he is a very confident, outgoing, effervescent kind of character. So you know, you would imagine they're going to come into this game with the attitude, absolutely nothing to lose. Great chance to take down Delhi, who are a pretty formidable side. So I think for Gujarat and the coaching staff, Ashish Nira, etc., they're pretty well placed. I think they've got quite a nice unit to settle into the tournament so well, so quickly. Very impressive.
Okay, so that is that over here. And Mumbai, Rajasthan, Butler really relishes playing against Mumbai. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, Butler's last 5 games against Mumbai, he's got 1 century and 2 half centuries, if I'm not mistaken, out of 41. So his last 6 knocks, averaging 80, striking at 166. Yeah, 350s, one century. Obviously, and he played for Mumbai. So let's not forget he used to play for Mumbai. So it's always nice when you go back against a former side and do the job. You play for a team and maybe they haven't retained you or maybe they've traded you. Butler goes away and he says to Mumbai, listen, you let me go. You took Quinton de Kock a few years ago. And now look what I'm doing against you. So Josh Butler, he is one of the best. We spoke before the game as Josh Butler or Rohit Sharma. There's not much between the two of them, but Josh Butler today just showed his unbelievable class, didn't he?
Absolutely. And Azhar, Butler's innings reaction from you, please. How he constructed his innings.
See, if your player is scoring 100, then you definitely bada total hota hai. You get a very big total. Because I'm always a firm believer that if you are playing, I mean, if you are the best player, I mean, the pehle ke first 4 or 5 players have to score runs. You can't expect the tailenders or players coming after 6 or 7 to score runs. So I always believe that it's easier to score runs if you're a set player. If you're batting, like for example, like Butler was batting today, he was batting 70, but it was easier for him to play in the last overs because then even the bowlers are also a little bit scared. The batsman batting 70 is in good form. They'll find it very difficult. So I always feel that whoever is set, whoever is gone, who's got a good start, as Nail has said in the beginning only, they can't just be happy with 30s and 40s and thinking that fine, I've scored 30 runs, so I will play another game. So that should not be the attitude. The attitude has to be to play big, to play till the end and get a score. For if you get a good individual score, it always helps the team. It swells the team total as well.
Absolutely. Niall, word on Ishan Kishan, please. 4 straight 50s now for him from Mumbai. Great form.
Yeah, great form, but a slow 50 today. In the context, when you're chasing 10 and over, he's got 50 odd or 43 balls, I think. 54 or 43. Strike rate of 125. If Mumbai don't win this game, you always look back. You have to look back and reflect on areas that you can improve. And without taking anything away from Ishan Kishan, because I'm a big fan of his, and he scored a half century. But if you don't win the game, you have to look back at the 1%ers. Where did it go wrong? And the batter himself, Ishan Kishan, would probably think, I need to score quicker than that. I've probably left a little bit too much for the lower order to do. So, listen, good form, great form. Good to see players carrying on form, because in T20 cricket, it's quite difficult to get consistency because the game is so turbulent. But today he was a little bit slow, if I'm being hypercritical.
Okay, and also we were talking about this earlier as well. As I said, Chahal and Ashwin, 3 wickets in the middle, so they're definitely making a mark.
I told you, if they bowl well, if they get wickets, because a spinner job, the primary job is to look for wickets. is not to contain runs. The moment he starts to think that I'm going to contain runs because they're an attacking bowler, both Chahal and Ashwin are both attacking bowlers. If they look to defend, if they look to contain, then they will go for plenty runs. But if they go look for wicket, even though if you give 10, 15 runs here and there, but if you see them in the context of the game now, I think because, I mean, one time Mumbai Indians were running away, Mumbai were running away with the match. But now, if you see, because they lost 3 wickets, they have come back on the run rate because it makes a lot of difference. The moment you start losing wicket, it's always difficult for even for a set batsman also to go for runs because if he knows that if I get out, the team is already over. The match is over. So that is the biggest problem we have. And then one thing I was talking about, Niall was talking about Kishan's 43 balls, 54. I mean, okay, I mean, according to his standards, he's played very slowly. But at that point, when you scored 54 in 43 balls, I mean, you should not get out at that time. Maybe if you carry on for another 4 or 5 overs, maybe those 70, 80 runs would be in 58 or 55 balls. Because, I mean, you get a start when you're batting 54. Okay, fine. Sometimes you play well. Sometimes you get a good start. Sometimes you cannot. Every time you can't get a start. But then if you're 54, I don't think he should have been out. Should get out at that time. Then he should carry on with the team. Take the team to the end. I mean, that is what, I mean, as a player, I mean, that was I've learned over a period of time through experience.
Absolutely. Now, do you agree?
Yeah, very much so. You know, no batter goes out to either bat slowly or give the wicket away. But I hear what Azhar's saying. It's just unfortunate, really. You know, you get set, and he'll be hurting. He'll be gutted because he is the man that was out there in the middle. But he had a good partner at the other end playing nicely, so he probably was a little bit slower than he would like. But you know, he's a young player. He's learning, Azhar. I think you'll agree.
No, definitely. I mean, there's no doubt
He's always
about it.
learning, and he's got good people to learn around with people like Mahela, Jayawardene, etc. So, you know, every day's a school day, as they say.
But sometimes these young players need to be told. Like, for example, with Tilak Verma also, 61 in 33 balls. You should take the team till the end. Okay, if he gets out in the 18th over or 19th over, no problem. But then you're batting 61, you're a set player. Then you have to cross the line. Then only you become a big player. I mean, that's what
I love the passion.
No, you have to be passionate about them. I mean, the game has given me everything. So, I mean, I need to tell what is right. You know, what I feel, what I gained through my experience over playing for so many years. And this is my experience, you know, because I've always felt that as a batsman, I've always felt that I can, if I'm set batting 70, in the last 3 or 4 overs, I can easily get another 30, 40 runs. I mean, that's how I trained myself.
Absolutely. So right now, 39 needed of 12. Do you think Rajasthan's death bowling will be of concern, Niall?
Well, obviously, they had an issue with Saini. Obviously, went off the field, didn't he? So, you know, he would have been somebody they would have looked to have used. They've done pretty well. That's a big total to chase in the last 2 overs. But as I said, Pollard is still there. You know,
you never know. He's a crazy batsman.
Pollard can hit 6 sixes in 1 over. I saw Pollard hit 6 sixes in an over in Antigua last year when I was working. So, you know, absolutely anything can happen.
Okay, let me just talk about Rishabh Pant as a captain, the very cool, collective, calm, you know, player that he is. What are your thoughts on him leading the team as well?
Well, I mean, he's come up very well. He's done so well for himself at international level also. But I still feel that, you know, I mean, as a captain, I mean, his is a very prized wicket for any opposition. So he has to make sure that he doesn't give that wicket very easily. I mean, sometimes, I mean, the mode of dismissal is very easy, you know, like, okay, fine, okay, you got it, you got out. So I mean, the opposition has to earn his wicket. If he stays, I mean, till the end, I mean, it's very easy for him. You know, I know. I mean, you want to hit every time, you want to get a big total. But at the end of the day, if you stay at the wicket, then only you can score runs. When you don't score runs sitting outside.
Yeah.
So it's great player. I mean, he's just learning. I mean, I think this is his first year as a captain for IPL. If I'm right, sorry, for the Indian League. So hopefully he will do well.
So before I let you gentlemen go, let's take a look at our playing 11.
Good playing 11.
There we have it, Delhi.
Upside.
Let's have a word on Kuldeep Yadav, Azhar sir. If you can just tell us a bit about Kuldeep Yadav, like a word on him, please.
Well, I think, I mean, he's really done well, because in the last couple of seasons, like especially when the league was played in India, he was hit for some runs, he totally lost his confidence. But now I think his confidence is back and playing for another team. So hopefully, I mean, when this type of a bowler is there, I mean, the wicket-taking bowler, the whole team has to rally around him, give him a lot of confidence. That is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
One player, sorry, just before we go, one player that I reckon is under pressure, even in this early stage in that Gujarat team, will be Matthew Wade, the keeper. Because we saw Matthew Wade in the World Cup in the UAE finish off so well, batting down the order. Up front, I reckon there's going to be pressure from the young Afghanistan keeper, Ramanullah Gurbaz, who I think is a superbly talented wicketkeeper batter. And obviously Rashid Khan is vice captain. So I'm sure he's going to want his Afghanistan teammate. So Matthew Wade played poorly in the first game. A run a ball 30, and then a terrible slog across the line. And as we've said all through the show, if you bat slowly, you can't afford to give your wicket away. You must carry. So Matthew Wade got 30 at a run a ball, slog across the line, got bowled. And you think Matthew Wade, he likes pace on the ball. So it might be a lot of spin. And I think Gurbaz, who I've watched for the last 24 months when Afghanistan have played the likes of Ireland, etc. And he is a super talented kid. And I know his attitude will be behind the scenes. He'll be working his socks off. Good keeper and a very good opening bat. So I wouldn't be surprised if Matthew Wade has another quiet game or two that we might not see the young Afghanistan keeper in the side.
And Shubham Gill, does he need to put more prize on his wicket, Azhar sir?
Definitely, because it's outstanding talent, but the talent has to, be converted into scoring runs, in performance. You have loads of talent, but then you have to perform, you have to score runs. Because, even if you see the way he gets out also, it's like, like his wicket is thrown away. But if he doesn't get out to a ball, where in a good ball, where any batsman can get out. But the mode of dismissal for him also is very easy,
David Warner will be joining the Delhi squad from the next match. So that's the latest update. And before I let you both go, closing thoughts on this game, because when we come back at the end for the post show, we're going to discuss our game that's still taking place and this game that's going to happen. What are your thoughts on the next game? Who do you think will be winning? Niall?
Listen, I'll just Delhi won the toss, so Delhi chasing. But I'm gonna say Gujarat. I'm gonna say for the new boys, they're gonna go with another win. It's gonna be a difficult one, but I'll back Gujarat to get a decent score on the board. Maybe something like 160, 165, and then Rashid Khan 3 for 25. How about that? Easy game.
Okay, easy game, as easy as it
I
gets.
think both sides are very competitive. It's very hard for me to decide one side, but I think I will give 50-50.
50-50. Okay, let me give my verdict. I'm a Gujarati.
You give your verdict.
I think Gujarat should win. No one has asked, but let me just put my 2 rupees worth
Why
of
not?
opinion.
You should give your
Why
inputs
not?
as well.
Yeah. I like the Gujarat team, to be honest. So let's see, anything can happen. And do we have anything else that we just want to
So who's your favorite player in Gujarat team?
30 is needed of 7 balls. Looks like Rajasthan could be winning, but we will discuss this later on. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on Sky247.net presents Not Just Cricket. And our viewers, please join us after the game for all of our opinions, even mine. Thank you.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.